The Vietnam War wasn't just lost in the mud and the blood of the jungle. It was systematically dismantled in air-conditioned offices and spreadsheets inside the Pentagon. For Secretary of Defense Robert McNamara, war was an industrial efficiency problem that could be solved like a production line at Ford. He believed that if he could quantify every bullet, every patrol, and every body, victory would be a mathematical certainty. But math without morality is a roadmap to disaster. What followed was the birth of a strategic blunder that turned human life into a disposable metric, stripping the soul from the soldier and replacing it with a data point. By 1966, the American war machine was starving for inputs, fresh bodies to feed the meat grinder. To avoid the political firestorm of drafting the college-educated middle class, McNamara launched Project 100,000. Under the cynical, benevolent guise of social aid, the Pentagon drastically lowered intellectual and physical standards. They recruited men who had previously been classified as unfit for service, including those with learning disabilities and severe physical limitations. These men were placed in higher-risk infantry roles with minimal preparation. The result was a staggering human failure. These soldiers died at a rate 3 times higher than their comrades. They weren't being uplifted, they were being used as statistical filler for an attrition chart. McNamara's obsession with metrics birthed the war's most hollow and dangerous KPI, the body count. In a war with no front lines and no territory to seize, success was measured solely by the tally of the dead. This created a toxic, perverse incentive for field commanders who are under immense pressure from Saigon to produce results. When the numbers didn't meet the quota, the definition of enemy expanded. A brutal mantra emerged: if it's dead in Vietnamese, it's Viet Cong. Entire villages were decimated and thousands of civilians were added to the spreadsheets to satisfy the algorithms. American GIs, realizing they were merely cogs in a broken machine that prioritized volume over victory, saw their morale shatter. They weren't liberators anymore. They were auditors of death in a system that demanded blood to balance its books. While the United States poured in billions of dollars in high-tech sensors, they fundamentally misunderstood the nature of the conflict. The Viet Cong didn't fight with spreadsheets. They fought with the land itself. They turned the geography of Vietnam into a weapon, carving out thousands of miles of complex tunnel systems and perfecting pungy bamboo traps laced with bacteria. These primitive, low-cost resources neutralized million-dollar American sensors and heavy artillery. Where McNamara saw a limited, primitive enemy, the Vietnamese saw a thousand-year struggle for survival. The American decisive defeat occurred the moment the sophistication of the machine collided with the raw, unyielding force of human will and indigenous adaptation. The legacy of Vietnam stands as an eternal warning against the strategic blunder of technocratic arrogance. McNamara and his Whiz Kids proved that you can command the skies and possess the world's fastest computers, but if you treat your own soldiers as hardware and your enemy as a calculation error, your downfall is guaranteed. The greatest failure in Vietnam wasn't a lack of firepower, it was the hubris of believing that the spirit of a people and the sacrifice of a soldier could ever be captured in an Excel spreadsheet. This was the ultimate human failure. A war managed by logic, but lost by a complete lack of humanity.